What is going on, everybody? This is going to be episode 1, guys. New show right now. It's for members only right now. I don't know who's all in here right now. Cannot see the chat. So this is going to be a little bit of a learning curve as I'm doing this. I'm going to see who's in here right now. I see CT603. Let me see if I can set up my connections here, guys. Whoops. Let me, bear with me, guys. This should work. This should work. Ladies and gentlemen. I just have to connect things right now. I got a lot of setup. So this is why we're doing it members only, which is going to be really cool, I think. And the point here is that we are going to have a discussion of sorts, because every night I have my Saturday night live stream, as you guys know. And then I figure for Sunday evenings, what we'll do is we'll have a discussion about it the night after, right? On what topics that we've had, the night previously. So, oh man, I keep forgetting. Shit. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so what we'll do, we're going to bring some stuff up here. And I believe I have this all set up right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this up. Bam, right here. You guys see it? That's what we got. We've got phone number. Call in. Whoever calls in, we're going to chit chat, right? 5-10 minutes, whatever. We'll move on to the next. We'll talk about last night's discussions. For example, are exclusive figures really exclusive anymore, right? Or what else did we talk about last night? Is FOMO a thing? Or are we going to be getting reissues? Eventually, like, is it worth chasing? So you guys let me know. My line should be open. So somebody give me a call and make sure this works. Which will work, because I tested it earlier. As long as my stuff's set up properly. And it's cool. And I think I'll just do this every, follow-up every Saturday. Or, I'm sorry, every Sunday would be a cool follow-up. Which is what I'm thinking. And we can just shoot the shit about these topics as a community. And then, I'll go ahead and probably put them up as public later. Right? But I think right now it's best to, whatchamacallit. Now, unless my stuff is being weird. Nope, I got it. Here we go. What's going on, bud? Can you hear me? It says my speaker is muted. See, this is why we have a problem. Why is the speaker muted? Or are you muted? Can you hear me? Oh my gosh. All right, hang on, guys. We're having a problem here. Or I'm having a problem here. What the hell's going on with my Skype? Nothing is muted. So this is why we're doing members only right now, guys. Something's messing up here. I swear to God, this was working just fine. This was working just a minute ago. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, who am I talking to, bud?
Shawn Smith, yo.
Shawn, what's up, man?
I tell you, I don't want to be the first caller, man.
You're the first caller, man. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I just got out of work.
Oh, shit. Okay. Nice, man. That is badass, man. That is badass. Yeah, man. So the last night, that was cool, huh? So what do you think about that, man? Do you think exclusives are exclusives, or what's going on, man? What do you think, man?
No, they're done.
You think so?
We're in the whole new game. We're in the whole new game now. And trust me, I have sources. I know.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
We're in the Hasbro.
Shit.
And I saw it come in like about a year and a half ago. It's when they started putting out those Chrome Troopers. I was like, yeah, we're becoming Hasbro now. It's coming Hasbro. And then this year we saw more and more and more. And Iron Man, like, I expected that because that's a moneymaker. Batman, I expected it. It's a moneymaker.
Right.
But now you're seeing more and more 2.0s. Like, you're seeing more and more 2.0s. And I remember back in the day when I was collecting Black Series, when they had the red and black boxes, I had the whole set. And a friend of mine who worked at Hasbro, he told me, oh, they're going to do repackaging. I was like, yo, I'm selling mine. I got to make money. I'm selling mine. So
Well,
I knew to get out when the time was. And I've been collecting Hot Toys since 2000, like when the first day when they were doing the Fireman, the Army, and you don't even see those anymore. They don't even reissue those.
right. No, not at all. God, but that's so long ago too, right? I mean, it's just not their property anymore. I mean, in that sense, right? They're all kind of Disney, right? For the most part.
Yeah. And Hot Toys is not scared of MR. Please, it's not happening. They're not. That's a whole, like, it was brought up in sessions. I kind of laughed at it because I knew, what was going on. And Hot Toys is its own thing. It's its own beast. It's its own market. NR is coming in as a new market. They gotta test the waters, which the product looks good. I'm not gonna bash them. The product looks good, but we have to see it, and
right.
then we'll see it, and that's it. And then you have two different, like, it's like 3-0 has something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have, like, it's not gonna be like, oh, NR is trying to kill Hot Toys or Hot Toys trying. No, it's gonna be competition, and it's good. It's good for everything.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Like, they're going to be like their own thing, basically.
Has like 3 companies. I think Queen Studios. They have Infinity Studios. They have XM Studios. It's all business. It's like the nonsense. All the NR is going to take the throne. No, they're not. They ain't taking no throne. It's going to be 2 companies who put out, and J&D will come out and they'll put out theirs. It's new. It's going to be new. It's going to be a new game. It's going to be a new challenge, and everybody's going to have to cough up the money. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We don't really know what's going to happen until, we see that first figure, and then we're going to kind of go from there as far as in-arts, right? Because, but I agree. I don't think Hot Toys is in any danger, but I feel like...
No, they're not. They're not.
I do feel
they're
like...
They're broke.
But the exclusives, though, right? I feel like is that... There's no point in chasing those anymore.
The exclusives are coming, but they will be limited. They're coming. I know. I already know. Like I said, I have a source. I know.
Well,
but the days of the Iron Man 46 and Iron Man 5, you're gonna see 3.0s. You're gonna see 4.0s. You're gonna see 5.0, but they're gonna be like 5 to 10 year spreads. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be every year going to be a 3.0. You know what I mean? They're going to give you time to, like, change. It's adapting. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to put UPS on Iron Man, so you don't have to worry about batteries. It's a work in progress, but it's taking time. Like, people would say, oh, it's wrong. Like, no, it's not. It's like, I knew it was coming. I knew it from a long time, but that 2.0s were coming. I knew they're going to be doing 3.0s. I knew they're going to be doing 4.0s. It's the same thing with PlayStation. The PlayStation comes out with a PS4, PS5, and a PS6. It's the same thing.
Right. Yeah, it's inevitable, right? It's inevitable.
It's marketing. It's marketing, and I know marketing because I work in the marketing. It's business. It's business as usual. The only thing I worry about is China. That's the only thing I worry about. That's the only thing I'm like, it ain't looking good over there, and we ain't looking good. And are we going to be getting Hot Toys down the road? I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But, we have to stick with our guns and pre-order and but people say, well, don't pre-order. Well, that's fine, but when it goes waitlist, don't be crying. You missed out on it. Don't be crying.
Well, I feel like, a lot of people, myself included, we were just not pre-ordering, right? So now I feel like, as we talked about that last night.
But when you were talking about last night, I totally agree. The pre-order was like, I went to a lot of channels and I heard pre-order, day one pre. Oh, I'm pre-order. I'm day one pre-order. I'm pre-order. I'm like, okay, but you guys don't know what the market looks like. We're in a pandemic. I was at home. I know. I was in a pandemic. I had to work. I was central. I had to work at Coca-Cola. I had to work, so I couldn't stay at home. But I know what it was like being at home, and you had that phone. You could pre-order. You know what I mean? You could pre-order. Like, oh, you know, but the product wasn't coming. That was the problem. And when it did come, people ran out of money, and now they're selling like Marvel. They're selling the Star Wars. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, if you go back 5 years ago, you couldn't find a Marvel on eBay at all.
Right.
Or you couldn't find Star Wars. But now you're seeing Marvel, like Star Wars, up to yang.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Like, all right, well, we hurting. We hurting. Like,
and
like,
even 5 years ago, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, even the original Avengers Hawkeye was like $600-700. And now he's like 150.
But you also have to look at the Endgame. I mean, I remember going to see Endgame, and it was exciting. I was excited. But after Endgame, I didn't feel the same. I was like, oh, man, there's no Iron Man. There's no Captain America. And then I started watching Shang-Chi. I started like, man, this is not the same. I don't feel the same with Marvel no more. I've lost my touch with it. And then Star Wars, you know, after, you know, that little, you know, Rise of Skywalker, I don't even think about it anymore. I lost interest. I lost interest. But then Mandalorian came. They brought it back. You know, I started to see, like, here and there. Obi-Wan was okay. I mean, Book of Boba Fett, I mean, it's okay. It was okay. It wasn't great.
Right, Mando was pretty much the pinnacle right now
George
of modern.
George Lucas always said Boba Fett was just a spare character. It was never going to be a story character.
Right.
But, you know, Disney owns the property, and they want to try it. Okay, that's fine. But I'm enjoying Star Wars. Marvel, I'm not. I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm like, man, what, like, Kevin Feige, you need to get back on the game, bro. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Doing something.
So no Marvel figures in your future then?
No, Marvel's done. I'm done with Marvel. After watching Thor, me and my wife, we got out of the movie theater. We walked out. Like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. No. Right. And it's not like, you know, a political thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was just kind of gradual, right? As you feel like
my wife wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. She's like, this is not Thor. This is not Thor at all. I'm like, yeah, this is not Thor. Let's go.
Right. No, I hear that. Man.
But Star Wars, my wife never watched Star Wars. She never watched it, Anthony. She watched Star Wars the first time, and she said, wow, this is amazing. And then she watched Mandalorian, and now she loves Baby Grogu. We have to buy Grogu everything now. Baby Grogu
right,
everything.
Yeah, that one blew up.
And she loves that character. Does she love Mandalorian? I don't know, but she loves Baby Grogu. And I'm excited because I love Star Wars. Now she loves Star Wars. So it's like, it's something special, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I just don't feel that with Marvel. Me and my wife, we don't feel anything special anymore. It's like it's taken away. Like no, I don't want to be spoilers or nothing, but you killed the Scarlet Witch. Come on, bro. Like, really? You just wasted a character.
Well, in that world, though, to be fair, I mean, they always bring people back, right? Even in Star Wars. So who knows? But I get your point on that one. I totally do. I feel a little diluted as well. You know, with both properties, I'm hoping we'll see a turn of events here brings me interest.
Bro, I will always love the first Iron Man. The first Iron Man movie is my first love. And I love it. I love the Mark III. And I like the Mark 7. But that's it, Anthony. I don't care for any Mark 46 or Mark 5 or whatever they bring. I don't care for it. You want to give me Mark 3? I'll take that. I'll take Mark 3.
Right.
You want to give me Mark 7? I'll take a Mark 7. But other than that, I don't care about any other Marvel figures. I just don't. And I respect everybody who likes it. I want them to have it. I want them to enjoy it. It's like I help anybody. I help anybody in the world. I mean, I help homeless people. I help children. I do everything I can because I know what it's like, you know, when I went through a divorce, losing everything.
Right.
I know what it's like you're on top of the world, like you were on top of the world, and then you lost everything. Like, man, where am I at? And I just grown to be a humble, caring, more loving person. That's why I don't, bump with nobody. I do my thing. And that's what I like to do. and I like to help anybody. You know, that's why I go on people's channels. I help them out. I'll do anything. I'll do anything to help y'all out, because I know what it's like being with nothing. I had nothing, because I had nothing, and I had to work for everything I have. You know, I work at Coca-Cola. I work for everything. I can't buy everything, but I buy.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, yeah. No one. Yeah, can't expect anybody to do that.
That's what another thing I learned from Hot Toys. That's another thing, Anthony. I learned to buy what I like. I don't buy just because I want it, because of the hype. Because you get stuck in that, and you will burn. You will.
Well, that hype is a never-ending cycle too, right? I mean, if you get caught in that, it never ends. You're just buying the next hype. You know, and then so on and so forth, and you know, years. You're right. Like years could go by, or even months in some people's case, and then they just completely burn out. They just can't. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, there's times I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing it since 2000. So there's times I'm like, I need to take a break. I need to take a break. Can't do everything. Take a break. Take a breather. You know, go do what you gotta do, and then come back. I mean, there was one thing you said one time on your podcast, and I liked what you said. Put away your figure, and if you come back to it 6 months and you like it, that means you keep it.
Oh yeah.
And I never thought of that. I should do that. And you know what? There was a couple of times I did that, and I was like, you know what? I really don't like this figure. I don't really need it, so I got rid of it.
You know, it's like an out of sight, out of mind thing.
I learned a lot of things from y'all by watching you guys. I learned a lot, man. And it's better for me because it helps me collect them better.
Right. Well, that's what it's all about.
It's so easy. It's so easy to go, oh, yeah, I got $26. I got pre-order. But, man, when you got like 40 pre-orders and they coming all at once, boy, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. And then you got to hide them from your wife, bro. That ain't easy.
Oh, well, if you got that going on, too, yeah, I bet, man. So, but, hey, Shawn, let me wrap on this one, man, because I know I got some other people waiting, man. Yeah. This is badass, dude, so I appreciate you calling in. And then, call in again.
No problem,
you know what I mean, or whatever. But
I will.
We'll keep rocking this, man. This is a good idea, man. So, stay safe, man. Appreciate everything you do. And, yeah, man, we'll talk soon, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, I will. All
right, brother. All right, man. All right, all right, guys. That was Shawn Smith, man, one of the channel members and a member of the community. Pretty awesome, man. Good insights, man. Great guy to know. Yeah, so anybody else, like I said, the line is open. Oh, we got one. Here we go. What's going on, guys? Who am I talking to?
Hey, man, it's Mark, Blackbird Tech.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Blackbird, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm doing well. It's funny because I was getting ready to watch a show, and then I saw a notification pop up on my phone. I was like, wait, what is this? He's streaming? So got on here. I was like, okay, cool. It's, a little hotline thing going. So
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this lately, man. I was like, let's think about it, because my main show's Saturday night, and we have topics, right? And it's like, not every, the panels are always there. They're big panels. We got a lot of people watch, a lot of people in the chat. And, oftentimes I'll rewatch my streams, for a lot of reasons, right? Mostly to catch up on chat. Sometimes I can't catch everybody, And I thought, well, what better way to do that, right? We can, I'll follow up the next day. We can talk about things, topics of what, what we're talking about for the night, man. So it was like, that's cool. And I was like, well, what did I talk about last night? I was like, oh, well, exclusives, right? Our exclusives really, there. Or, what's going on with this whole FOMO thing and like reissues. So, that's why I was like, cool. We'll go ahead and just discuss, topics from the, the previous night,
No, man, that's good. No, that's really good. Yeah, that's another thing, too, is I really do appreciate the direction that you're taking your channel because, you're doing like all this killer content, those new intros that you're doing in these videos.
I appreciate it.
And I mean, you're on the come up, man. So I really do appreciate that. You as well as the other YouTubers out there in this 1/6 community. So everyone's got their own thing going. It's a good, diverse mix of things that people are putting out there.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, yeah, and I do definitely appreciate, man, all the support you guys give, man. But you're right. There's so many awesome content creators out there now that it's like sometimes it's overwhelming. And I mean, a lot of them are my friends too, and I can't even like catch up sometimes between work and then channel. It's but everybody's doing like so much cool stuff, man. it's a totally different world than I think it was a couple years ago.
No, it was. No, for sure. I mean, like, I know that when I first started collecting, actually, it was right around, I'm a pandemic collector. So when that started, it was like, okay, cool, this is a new thing I'm getting into or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started discovering all the streams. And then I was like, okay, cool, let me follow this guy, and it just kind of bouncing around. And now it's kind of like my thing is, like others, it's just kind of like, everyone's got their own type of knowledge that they're putting out there.
Right.
And the fact that everyone's looking out for each other and just like, okay, this is what we're seeing, these are the trends and stuff. And, it's good to kind of take the cherry pick and take little bits of stuff from, each and everywhere and everybody. And everyone has their own unique, opinion, and thoughts about, this collecting community. So I really love it. It's good. It's like the more the merrier.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and everybody has exactly that, right? Like everybody brings something unique to the table, their own opinions or, entertainment or education or speculation or, anything. So you can, it's a good, I always try to tell people that like none of us at the end of the day really know anything like what's going on with the companies, right? But, through our experiences, right, and our history of collecting or, dealing with other stores or something along those lines, it's cool that you can tune into specific people, right? Whoever you vibe with, and get a multitude of different perspectives that can kind of, I think, allow you to kind of formulate, an opinion of your own based off other people's experiences, right?
Exactly. One thing I did want to bring up, because we're talking about this from the stream last night, with this whole exclusives thing and, reissues and all that. My thing is, me being kind of a still newish collector, a lot of these reissues that are coming out, some of these I didn't catch the first time. So, me personally, I welcome like updates. Mm-hmm. And like, some of these that are coming out again, because, it gives me a chance to try to collect some of these without paying like, the overblown secondary prices that they're, fetching for right now. But at the same time, I can kind of see where a lot of the veterans are not happy, just because of the fact that, a lot of the stuff that they bought, which were kind of scarce, I guess, back in the day, they're just in abundance now. Like they're everywhere, and then they're just being pumped out again and stuff like that. So I get it. It's I think the game it's definitely changed from what I've noticed. It seems like a lot of stuff is very different now. In this new market that we're in or whatever. But I just kind of feel that people, there are going to be, I don't know, like there are going to be people that are happy about it, and then there's people that are going to be unhappy about the situation. But at the end of the day, I kind of look at it too. It's like I welcome a lot of these updates and all that, but at the same time, we have so many other figures that people are waiting on, including myself. And it's just like, hey, you know what? My thing is like, how is Hot Toys as a company going to catch up and pump these figures out? Because like we're so behind, and there's so many contributing factors, like with COVID, it's still happening all over the world, and then China's in lockdown, and all this stuff
going on.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and a lot of it's just it's hard to understand that, because here in the States, everything's opened up again. People are trying to get back to some kind of normalcy.
Right.
But in other parts of the world, man, like they're stuck in their homes. They can't even go to the factories and work pump out the products.
I know. So, we're over here like, hey, come on. I mean, like, but I agree with you on that sense, right? Because as you're saying, like, you came in as a collector during the pandemic, right? So, like, for example, the War Machine Mark I, right? That was a super, well, it still kind of is. It's dropped a bit, but the Mark I War Machine's very expensive, and now we're getting this reissue. So if that was like, for example, I don't know if that was something that you were interested in, but now you have that opportunity, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like that's one that's definitely on my radar that I want to get. You know, another one a couple of years ago was the Mark 47, the Iron Man suit from Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
That was going for some crazy money on the secondary, and then whenever they reissued it, I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm gonna definitely pick this one up because I really like that suit. And so I got it for retail from Sideshow. So yeah, it's you know it is nice that they're doing that. I just kind of wish that, you know, as long like with a lot of other collectors, it's like, you know, if you're gonna do that, you know, go ahead and try to update it. You know, give it a better body.
Right.
You know,
All for
add
2.0s.
some other accessories. Yeah, for 2.0s, add some, you know, additional accessories. You know, make it a little bit more enticing for newer collectors, and then of course people who picked up the original. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I didn't get this, you know, extra thing or whatever. It's like, okay,
right.
I'll go ahead and get this one or something. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. This is kind of how I see it. You know, like I'm just kind of going with the flow of just, you know, figuring out like where this market's heading, and then, you know, what it's going to look like, you know, 6 months, a year from now, you know, because at that point hopefully we're going to see already in art have a couple of figures out of the market. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see if they're living up to the hype.
Right.
You know?
That's true
and
too.
then, you know, yeah, and then there's, of course, you know, there's third party companies out there still putting out, you know, some products as well, you know. So, you know, following that and just kind of figuring out where it's heading. But, you know, I think what it is too is that I had this funny feeling that we're going to get hit with a lot of releases coming up, definitely before the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to happen, man. Yeah, I think they're going to start pumping them out because, you know, they're so backlogged, and then I think they're just going to. I think people better be prepared. Whoever's dipping in on their pre-orders, you know what they've got, because, you know, they're going to come fast and furious, I think.
Man, you know, and that usually happens every like Q4 of every year here. It's usually we get this surge, like this kind of nightmare before Christmas kind of thing, like, you know, October, November, December. It never fails. Like we always get hit with like a surge of figures. So I'm interested to see where we're going with this, man. You know, but I'm glad that you have an opportunity, you know, as a newer collector to come in and you know, be able to acquire those types of things, man, because it's always been like, I've never had an issue myself with, you know, seeing figures come out. I know I'm not a fan of reissues straight up unless like the figure's like just so good that it doesn't really need a 2.0, right? Because in some cases that's how I feel. I mean, like if they were to give us the 89 you know, Batman Jack Nicholson Joker, for example, it's perfect. Like it doesn't need, you know what I mean? That could be a reissue. You know, I mean, maybe they can update the body a little. The legs are kind of wonky. That was a known issue. But other than that, you know, like with the War Machine Mark 1, I feel like that was a perfect figure. They didn't really need to do anything, so that's why it's branded as a reissue, right? But for the most part, it's not a problem. It gives people an opportunity to buy figures that are, you know, out of reach, right? And if there's too many figures out of reach, I feel like it's going to detract from, you know, people coming into the hobby, right? And they're like, oh man, I can't buy anything, right? So that's how I feel. Like I think it's good for everybody.
For sure. Well, listen, man, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know that you got other people that probably want to call in, but you know, again, thank you so much.
Of course,
congrats
man.
again on the 3K.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Yeah, before too long, you'll be at 4. So,
There's
hoping.
hoping.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, have a good night, and you know, see you again on the next one.
Always, brother, man. Good to hear from you, man. Cool, man.
Yep.
Alrighty.
See you, man.
All right,
Good
later.
night.
Awesome, guys. That was Blackbird Tech, my man, dude. Awesome, dude. Awesome conversation. It's cool, man, coming in as a new collector. Absolutely. You know, having that opportunity to pick up new figures, I think that's great for everybody. So, anyway, guys, the lines should be open. So I'm standing by. CT603, S-Beam, Blerd Dad, Tomboy, Louis Libitz. Here we go. We got a call coming in right now. What's up, man? Who am I talking to?
This is CT603. What's up, man?
Whoa, what's going on, dude? How you doing, man?
All righty.
What is good? So, what do you think, man? What do you think about all this stuff last night? Got any opinions?
Right here, the stream, content, one large step for collectors everywhere for the community. So,
well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, last night, that show, like I said, I was a little bit tired, but man, I woke up when we started getting into the pre-order, and I thought, number one, I appreciate you stepping up, and I know you were kind of maybe taking a little jab, having a little fun with it, but stepping up and calling out the other contenters on the pre-ordering. I think across the board, all of them were really driving the let's not pre-order. And I'm fairly new into the 6-scale world. So as I'm coming in, I'm looking at all these seasoned 6-scale collectors, and everyone's just shutting down on the pre-ordering. And for me, that didn't make a lot of sense. I come from the corporate world, so I'm a big backer and, sticking with the license holder and authorized retailers. There aren't guys, just, I don't know, some of the communications I was hearing in the conversations that we're having, you would think that some of the guys think that, like, they're these guys twisting their friggin' mustaches in boardrooms, sideshow, thinking, how can we screw people? How can we get money? And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think Sideshow's they're not doing the twirly mustache stuff. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of time and planning that goes into making a product, bringing it to market, and getting it into our hands. And, that's really what it's all about. And that's what people are trying to do. There was COVID. There was a lot thrown at this. It threw everything off. And, and on top of it, you have companies like Toys Wonderland coming in, trying to undercut. And I think in this community, it could be maybe a little bit more divided than we think. I think there's a lot of people in this community that struggle to keep up, and that was with the Hot Toys of old. Now they're that license holder for Disney, and Disney is getting its steam. They've got their content. They've got Disney Plus now. They've got content lined up, and it is just going to keep coming, and they're going to expect their license holders to keep up. Hasbro and now Hot Toys. So they have new pressures on them, and it's to keep up with all that content.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, man. I mean, and you say that coming in, more corporate, side of things, like with the pre-ordering, you started out saying that you've kind of came in. Like, how long have you been? When did you start really getting into the collecting then?
Well, I've been collecting my whole life. Number one, my son and I've been collecting comics as a kid, growing up, Star Wars figures, everything like that. Then I had a kid, and we collected Clone Wars.
Okay.
Marvel Legends came, Black Series came. I'm like, I'm not doing that. We're too invested in 3.75. We're sticking with this. Right. And I've always had my eyes on Hot Toys. And then The Mandalorian came out. And that really
just kind of set you
blew
off.
life back into me with Star Wars again. I'm like, wow, this could be a good time to get back into Star Wars. And then I said, you know what, this may also be a good time to make that plunge. And if I was going to get a Hot Toys, man, this guy looks pretty good. That armor looks good. I think getting him in a Hot Toy. And then right after that, they revealed they're doing Clone Wars. And I was like, are you kidding me? It's like they have my house bugged. Clone Wars.
Right. They're getting like all your favorites there. No, and, listen, and the thing is like the reason why, and I totally see what you're saying, right? That, coming in, semi new into the hobby and seeing all these veteran people saying, hey, we don't do this, we don't do that. I guess I see where you're coming from that perspective, and that's kind of why I brought it up a little bit last night. Is that because the thing is, for a while, like, we've just been bombarded with pre-orders after pre-orders, and as you mentioned, with like Toys Wonderland or other places, things are like severely undercut, or people are selling their figures. Maybe they're getting out of the hobby, so you can find a lot of stuff a lot cheaper than retail. So it's kind of like, we've always kind of, not always, I would say, but for a while I've been preaching, like, hey, don't do the pre-order thing. And now, that, again, that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up last night, is because Sideshow or Hot Toys, a mix of both, I feel like they're switching things up on us now. And we could go back to the days of old where, like, you did have to pre-order. It hasn't been that way for a while now. So, again, there's a larger picture here for everybody, I think, but I still feel like some of us are partially, we're still responsible for, like, our actions, I think, in that respect. So seeing what's happening now, I don't know yet. I don't know if it's still too early to tell, in the next month or two. If this continues, then I think pre-ordering is going to be a thing. Or again, you can pre-order if, like, that works for you, right? You still with me?
Yeah. Well,
okay,
yeah,
sure.
I am. I pre-order everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not, there are definitely, you have your collectors there who buy their collection and they're willing to part with it. It's not even an option. Everything I'm buying is here because I want it.
It's like here to stay.
We stick in the Star Wars camp.
Mm-hmm.
We do some Marvel. My son collects Marvel, so we'll dabble in that. But for the most part, it's Star Wars. That's it. And what we buy, we keep. We might get an extra here or there, and Ahsoka, like, because the arms might break. I like doing photography, so I'm definitely gonna, we stick them in a cabinet and leave them alone. So
Right.
We do appreciate them, and it's about the collection for us. It's about the whole collection. And even if we were to stop, even if times were tough,
right,
we would just slow down. There would never be a stop and a quit.
Well, and that's something really cool too, because that's something that you share with your son. So it's more than just just as a collector, right? You guys are sharing something together, which is really cool. That's something really special, I think.
Oh yeah, well, you try to raise them, and you hope, that they catch the bug.
Right.
You hope they do, and you hope they don't. But when you realize, wow, it took, then you have a lot of good time going to conventions and everything with your best bud. It's a whole new thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be awesome. And then who knows? Maybe he'll get stuff that you don't have, right?
Yeah, we got to get him his license first, and then he can get out there and get a job and hopefully start buying figures of his own. But right now, Dad bankrolls everything.
No, man, and I get that, and I totally understand the pre-ordering process as well, right? Because it's like, it's the stability, right? Like, knowing that it's officially distributed, things like that. If there's any problems, they take care of you, etc., etc. So, I totally get that, and that's something that I feel myself sometimes as well. Like, when I order something from Sideshow, I have this peace of mind, right?
Yeah. I got an order with Toys Wonderland. It was the one order. I can't believe I did it, but I did it. It was FOMO, and it was the Clone Trooper. So I actually have it. If you can imagine this, it's like double dumbass here. I put it on a payment plan.
Oh.
So, and I'm listening to people later on in the night, worrying about in-art. Like, questioning, man, what are these figures going to be like? Is this a scam? Is this somehow Queen Studio just lost all reputation, all the great statues that they've done, everything, means nothing.
Why is that?
They're calling that into question. Well, it just seems it just seems like the community is so concerned about what in-art is going to put out. And And even, you know, if you listen to Denobi, you know, Denobi even questions whether the whole thing's a Ponzi scam, and they're going to grab money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, Denobi is not very forthcoming in his trust within arts right now.
And here I am just sweating over my order with Toys Wonderland. Like,
Right.
I'm like, there's like zero chance I'm going to get that. You know, don't worry. I think art's going to be fun.
Yeah,
you know, come on.
I think they're going to
be
make
amazing statues. Come on.
Yeah, no, I think so. And that Joker should be, approaching final production here pretty soon. I'd imagine we're going to start getting our figures. So that's going to be a big deal, right? Because I'm going to get my 2-pack rooted Joker, and you know, I'm going to scrutinize the hell out of that thing. So, you know, it's not like everybody's like praising it. You know, I know there's some doubters and what have you, and rightly so, right? Not knowing, you know, they've never seen a figure yet. You know, there's concerns, they're expensive. I get that. But, you know, when I get the figure, it's not going to be like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, if it's not the greatest thing ever, right? So I think that's the $1 million question for everybody, right? Everybody wants to know.
I think it might be the greatest thing ever.
I mean,
I think this legitimately could hurt Hot Toys. You know, Hot Toys is in a position, like I said, where they've got to keep up. And when you've got to keep up, you've got to sacrifice somewhere, right? You can't pump out the numbers, and it's going to be in the quality. And now you've got guys coming in, attacking the quality, saying, we're going to give you quality. That's where we're going to be. We're going to do low numbers. And that's what people want. So, and you know what? Hot Toys just might be fine with that. You know, if in the end, like Hasbro, who knows? Maybe they want to be like Hasbro. Maybe. They're happy, and doing volume is the end game for them. That's where they want to be.
Well, that's their strength. I mean, at least currently, that's their strength. That's why I don't feel like Hot Toys is in any dire position or anything, because they have volume, right? They have volume, and let's face it, like, Hot Toy collectors are not going anywhere. They may have another option for something a little more premium grade, as yet to be determined, you know, with the release of their first figure, but that's the presentation, right, that they're giving us, that they're going to be premium quality, much higher quality figures. They're going to be lower, right? Because Hot Toys, again, has that volume. They're going to be fine. And more importantly, they have Star Wars, you know, and they have Marvel. So, and I don't feel like InArt will be getting those licenses anytime soon. So, yeah, again, I think Hot Toys is going to be fine, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, two major licenses, I don't know how they can go wrong. Unless they are hurting, there's something that we're not seeing, you know, that economy is going through, you know, things we're not visible to. So hopefully they don't go out like, what was that Australian company?
There was
Eagle Moss.
Oh, Eagle Moss. Well, that was a British company, I think, but
okay.
But same, yeah,
but
they were 40
Moss.
years. Yeah, Eagle Moss was a 45-year-old company, and just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, times are tough, you know, and we're talking about toy companies here, so we don't know how hard Hot Toys was hurting before all of this, you know, and really what this, you know, there was. I can't remember. I think you were talking about it earlier, but a lot of the figures that they've come out with were like non-sculpt type of figures that they're pumping out. So you really don't have to rely on artists, and you can kind of keep the machine going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can put out these Iron Mans,
speculating going on.
Troopers, you know, stuff like that, right? No head sculpts.
Right. Yeah, and that stuff seems to be getting pushed off.
Yeah.
Or is it getting pushed off because Disney's pushing off the launch of their stuff? So, you know, we can just speculate a whole bunch, but man, we're going to find out, you know, because now they're taking orders for vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you know, not only do they have to keep up, but now they're building vehicles. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what that quality looks like.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. Well, let me go ahead and wrap on that one, though, homie, because I know we got some more people in the queue. But
Sounds good.
this is awesome, man. I'm glad you were able to call in, man. If you guys like this stuff, man, we'll keep doing this every week. I think this is a great idea. You know, if you're down for that, if everybody in the chat right now thinks it's a good idea, we'll carry on with this, man. So, but I do appreciate you calling in, man, and always the continued support, man.
You got it. Digging it. Bye.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, man. Well, we'll talk soon, my friend. All right, everybody. That was CT603, my man, dude. Awesome, dude. Brings up some good points, man. I really like the fact that you have, you know, something that you can share too with your son, man. That's awesome. You know, being able to collect together. That's not something that I have, you know. So you know, having that kind of, I don't have that that line of thinking, right? So that's really cool, man, that you're able to do something like that. And so anyway, guys, lines are open. If you'd like to call in, talk about what we talked about last night, man. Our exclusives anymore. You know, Sideshow going to end up having these. And, you know, with FOMO, man, is that really a thing anymore? You know, it looks like we keep getting a lot of different 2.0s and reissues, man. So let me know your thoughts. Anybody want to give a call? The line is open. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. And who else do we got in the chat right now? Blerd Dad, what is going on, my man? How are you doing this evening? S-Beam as well. Man, thank you guys for coming through. Feezy Figures, hey, I'm part of the club now. So this is what VIP looks like. It does. And I do have a call coming in. What's going on, man? That's Mafia, man. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is Blerd Dad.
Blerd Dad, what is up, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, it's all good, man. Hey, great stream last night, and congrats to Patrick Kelly for winning that figure last night.
Hey, absolutely,
congratulations,
man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hope he enjoys it.
Oh, me too, man. I'm sure he was pretty stoked. He hit me up real quick. So I was like, all right, he's in the chat. He's got
I can relate. I can relate, man. When I got the Boba Fett a couple months ago, I was hopping around the house too. I know how he feels.
That's right.
Man.
You won that Arena Fett.
Yeah. But you know, with that figure, you know, you and I talked a few weeks ago too. I was thrilled to win it, but you know what? Currently own a Boba Fett. I'm looking at him right now, my 40th anniversary. I was chill with that. I took him while the iron was hot, and I flipped him and got 3 figures.
Hey, you know,
so
gotta do what you do, man. If you don't relate to it, I totally get it, man.
Yeah, but Star Wars is totally. You know, here's the thing about me. Especially right now with so many things that are preparing to drop and loving multiple IPs, as I was just saying in the chat, I have to be really choosy because while this is a hobby and a passion that I love and, you know, dealing with the life side of my name, Blerd Dad Life, and everything that goes along with it, I really have to pinpoint which figures I want to drop in on because loving Star Wars and loving Star Trek, I'm looking at my 4X06 figures right now and I'm like, okay, I want Cisco. I want Tuvok. But initially I said I was going to stick to the captains. But every time I see a picture on Facebook that Nansen's dropping, it's like, holy hell. You know, it's just like.
It just reignites that spark in you, right? You're like, oh my God, am I going to go down this path as well?
And it's crazy because I love Star Wars. I love Trek. I love Marvel and DC. And it's just like, okay, I really just got to hone it in and just get to a point where I have to stick to a lane. So if I'm going to stick with the captains, then I got to abide by that and just hope that, you know, I can really stick to that. But I feel like one of the callers just said, I feel like in the next few months, we are going to see a tidal wave of figures coming out.
Yeah, that was Blackbird. Yeah, Blackbird Tech. Yeah, no, and I agree. You know, that happens every year. Every like end of the year, we get this surge, and then beginning of the year, you know, it kind of tapers off, and then we hit the Chinese New Year, and then it's crickets for like two months. You know.
Right.
Right. And then it kind of picks up again during the summer. We get the summer showcase and the Toy Fair exclusives and maybe other, Tokyo or Shanghai events. And now we're here again where we're kind of in a little bit of a lull right now. I mean, we're getting some stuff coming out, but we're seeing a lot of 2.0s, a lot of reissues, a couple announcements, but you know, I feel like that's tapering off right now. And in the next few weeks, we're going to start getting hit with a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah. You know, I know there's a lot of hype and speculation about InArt. I'm not prepared to jump on that train, but I'm just curious to see what the quality is going to look like, because I got to believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. I mean, if they're going to take it up to the next level, that's got to force Hot Toys' hand to come out swinging with even better quality, because we know sometimes the sculpts can be hit or miss. Or, I mean, let's look at Cable just a few weeks ago.
Right.
Here's a figure that had been pushed for nearly 2 years. Deadpool 2, hell, it's a movie I watched in the theater once and finally went back and rewatched it like 2 years later, about a month ago, and the figure finally dropped, and it's just like, okay, he looked like he hadn't eaten a meal in a few weeks, and like,
bit,
it was kind of disappointing to a lot of people. So it's just like, I'm hoping that InArt will, just add some extra competition pressure to Hot Toys, and maybe even, some of the other third parties out there that are delivering some good product. Because I got a couple So-Sos in my collection, and I love them.
Oh yeah, they've been doing some great stuff lately, man. I'm not gonna lie. For a third party company. Yeah. I think they're the best third party company right now. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, hands down.
Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah. The main reason why I wanted to call is just really just say congratulations on hitting 3K.
Appreciate that.
I've enjoyed so much of the content that you and so many of the comrades have put out. But I mean, your production quality is second to none. The intro on last night's show that was so badass, badass.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I do. It's what I like to do, man. I don't know. We all have our own, ways about us, I guess, right?
Right.
Different skill sets, different whatever we bring to the table, right, is all unique. So I know I definitely appreciate that, man. 3,000, man. We're trying to get to 4K, man. So here's to that, right?
Well,
the next one.
I don't think you have any problems getting there, man. I really don't.
I appreciate that, man.
I've really enjoyed all the content. Looking forward to seeing what they're producing with the team over at X06 very soon. Like I said, I got a couple spots for Cisco, probably Tuvok to join Janeway and EMH. But man, those Wrath of Khan figures, man, just oh my god, to have. Oh my god! Yeah, that's all I can keep saying, because
it's hard.
It looks fire, man.
When you say that, right, and you're like, okay, well, I mean, I got to stay into a lane. Well, and then the problem is when you like everything, it's hard, right? You're like, well, maybe I'll just stick to the captains, and then you see something else. You're like, ooh, nope, gotta have that.
Yeah. Now I gotta ask. I know you had recently talked about over the past few weeks and months. You've done a Marvel purge.
Correct.
The figure sets you've sold, I mean, did you have any regrets, selling any of them, or you just felt like you had to do that clean slate, or your own version of the house party protocol, going back to Iron Man 3?
Yeah, essentially that's what it was. No, listen, I mean, I try to live my life with no regrets, man. So if I make a decision,
right,
then I want to. I want to commit to that, right? I need to have that conviction, right? And it wasn't an overnight thing, mind you. I mean, I was discussing this with other fellow colleagues, peers of mine in the community. I was like, I'm thinking about getting rid of this, and and I talked about that for maybe like almost 2 months, dude. It was not an overnight thing, because I never want to make hasty decisions, right? Because we already we do that as collectors anyway sometimes, right? With just straight FOMO.
Oh yeah.
We just buy something. We're like, oh, that looks freaking cool. I got to get it, and you pre-ordered or whatever. So I always want to try to take my time on it. And again, that's a big thing, right? Because it was already a big investment of not only money but time, right? Because I was collecting Marvel for a long time. But I
and space.
Well, that was the main factor for me. That was the main factor for me was space, right? Because of of my workings with X06, it's like I have every Star Trek figure, so, and will continue to do so. So now I'm like, oh geez, okay, if I think about the future, I'm like, what is more important to me in terms of space, right? Is it the MCU or is it Star Trek? And for me, it will always be Star Trek. So something had to go,
right.
And Star Wars was not out the door. And to a point, it was like I did get rid of some other things of Star Wars, but it was more or less because I was like, hey, listen, what do I really? and I'll tell you this really quick because I don't know if you guys remember this or not. It was on one of my live streams. We were just kind of, we were shooting the shit. We were talking, and just a thought popped into my head, and it ended up just manifesting, man. So what I said was, if there's like a fire or like a gun to your head type situation, and you had to get rid of everything you own collection wise, and you can only keep like 10% of your entire collection. And I was like, what would you keep? And, and I just kind of threw that idea out there. And then we didn't even really talk about it. We kind of breezed right over it like it was no big deal. But I remember after that stream, I was sitting down, I was relaxing. I was watching TV, winding down for the evening. And that thought kept just repeating over and over in my head, like by myself, and I was like, damn, yeah, what would I do? Right. And I thought, well, my original trilogy, Star Wars, I was like, that has to stay. And then it just something kind of like clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't connect with the Clone Wars. I don't connect with Rogue One, so I got rid of them. I was like, well, let's, and again, that took some time too, though. I was thinking about that for a little while. And then I just made that decision that, hey, this has got to go. What do I really enjoy? I really enjoyed all my stuff from the 80s and the 90s. And that's kind of that's my, my theme, if you will. Right. Again, it wasn't an overnight choice, or decision. You got to think about stuff like that. And like I said,
absolutely.
Space is a huge factor too.
Yeah. Cause even as I look at my collection, if, something of that level happened, you can't take it all with you anyway, but you got to look at what means the most to you. And even with my modest little collection, it grew mainly through the pandemic. Is, hey, we're all home. What are we gonna do? I'd probably take like 5, 10 figures at the most, if I have the time to get them out.
Right. Well, yeah, man. I mean, I totally get that. I totally get that. It's space, money and space, really. And I would argue that space is number one. Because we're already collectors. We're already in the game, right? So we already, or at least I would think that most of us already factor in that budget, right? They factor in that cost, right? Because that's what we do. We're buying figures. So, because if you don't have money, you're not a collector. I mean, and I'm not saying that in an elitist sense, right? Because you may still have that desire to collect, but if you can't do it, then you can't, right? That's so I always look at it like I think space is the number one concern for me anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, because I'm confined to the 5 detolfs that I have, but I actually have a small overflow in my daughter's room because she's come to love many of the figures that I've collected. Like I got Spider-Gwen and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, and she's really enjoyed having those figures in her room. So, and I got awesome. Fury, and so she's got her own little collection on loan going on too. But even with that, I don't want to have them overflowing into every other room of the house. My wife would never allow it. But yeah, space is a premium, and now detolfs are like $100 a piece. It's going like, okay, they're getting to start to cost as much as some of the figures are.
I mean, really, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's starting to get really, I mean, detolfs were like $50, then they were $60 forever.
Yep.
Then they went to 80, and then a couple months later they're at 100. So you're like,
yeah.
And it's only a matter of time until they're 110 or 120.
Yeah, and at that point, when I'm able to get into our forever house at some point, I'm planning to do what Costa is preaching with, getting the garage shelves and just make your own Magic Case style.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I have behind me. I built these a few years ago.
They look fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I never made a video or anything like that, but I mean, shout out for him for doing that and actually showing everybody, because I thought about doing that, but then I was like, man, I already built this. So I was like, so in my head, I was like, well, if I wanted to do it, I should have done it as I did it, so I can, kind of, vlog it over time, right? Record clips as I kept going, over the course of, 3-4 months, and then just had all those clips and then put them together as a video. Nah. So, definitely, man, I'm glad that he did it, bringing awareness to a lot of people that way. It's really, really, really cool. And it's a good alternative, right?
Absolutely. Well, listen, man, I know there's probably other callers wanting to get on deck, but I just had to call and just say I think this is a brilliant idea of a show. As long as you keep doing it, I plan to call in at least, every once in a while, if not every time you do it. But this is brilliant. It gives a lot of us the chance to hear the voices behind the usernames we see on each of the streams. So,
right. I
shout out
figured
to
this
all
is a
my
great
other
way.
fellow collectors in the community.
Yeah, no, I definitely am going to continue this, guys. I definitely will. So, we'll probably do them every Sunday evenings or Sunday afternoons. I'm not too sure yet. Just a follow up from the Saturday night streams. So, I do appreciate it, man. And your support, of course, man. Everybody here, man. And I'll keep doing it, man. So I do appreciate it, man. And I'll talk to you soon for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Take care.
All right, brother. You too, man. All
right. Bye.
All right, everybody. That's Blerd Dad Life, man. Very cool insights, man, too. And that'll be awesome, man, because space is an issue. Space is definitely an issue, and with the rising costs of DTOFs, it's like, I don't know, building your own kind of shelves or, investing in Moji cases, it's not a bad idea, guys. It's not a bad idea. So anyway, we'll do a couple more calls here, guys, if you want, man. So the line is open. Anybody wanting to call in, the number is right here on screen, man. And let me know what you guys' thoughts are, man, in regards to, whatever, if it's, the exclusives or anything like that. All right. We got somebody calling in right now. What's going on, man? Who am I talking to?
Hi, this is TomboyAJ.
Hey, Tomboy, what is going on? How you doing?
Sorry, I'm a little anxious because I don't do stuff like this.
Oh, no, not a problem. Not a problem.
No, nothing's going on. I was in the middle of watching the new Game of Thrones side series when I saw the video come up.
Oh, okay. I still haven't watched that yet.
Not bad. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it's definitely something worth killing some time with.
Yeah, well, eventually I think I'll probably check it out eventually. So, but that's really cool. That's really cool. So you watched last night's stream, I'm guessing?
I did not.
Oh no, not yet, huh?
Always.
Well, it's all right. We talked about exclusives and if they're gonna, are they really exclusives anymore? Or chasing grails, is that really a thing anymore?
Well, I've noticed
for you,
a lot of the stuff that was exclusives at one point. It just kind of sits on Sideshow's site.
That's true.
And I don't know if that has any factoring in on what comes out down the line anyways, because I've looked at a figure several times and it's like, it was an exclusive. And I'm like, that's great. But it doesn't really seem like it's selling. And it's it kind of comes down to is there a fear of missing out anymore? And because of that, because it's still there. There's a ton of them that are still there. There's a ton of them that I'm on a wait list. And they've been coming up for resale over and over again the past few months.
That is true. I mean, we've had, certain things that were exclusives was maybe the Armorer, right? And she's still in stock. Yep. And then you have the Midas, the Midas Iron Man exclusive. I think he's still in stock too. But now I'm feeling
the 2099 Spider-Man, wasn't that an exclusive as well?
It was. I think.
Or was there a variation?
One of them was. Shoot, I don't remember. I don't know if you guys in the chat remember. It was either the 2099 or Scarlet Spider. I know the Cyborg.
Scarlet Spider wasn't exclusive as well. That one wasn't exclusive. I have that one, which I still haven't opened.
Well, and I know it's the Cyborg Spider-Man from last year. That's also an exclusive.
That's true. And I want to say it came up on my wait list recently too.
Well, it's difficult because I feel like we may be approaching a different. I mean, again, I don't know if it's premature or not, but I feel like we're approaching a different, maybe a new era here with Sideshow and Hot Toys, where, not 2-3 weeks ago we were all talking about these Shanghai exclusives, right? The Chrome Stormtrooper and the Mark 46,
right?
And here they are. And not only are they here on Sideshow, they're shipping. People already have them. And
people are already reselling them.
Right, exactly, right. So I'm not sure, because sometimes do we get or I should say, do you try to get an exclusive because it's an exclusive, regardless of whether or not you have an attachment to that property, or is it just kind of, because some people will do that, right? Like Arena Fet was a perfect example. Like everybody lost their mind and wanted to pick up an Arena Fet, and I suspect a lot of people aren't really Fet fans or even read the War of the Bounty Hunter comics to like know where he was from, right? Not everybody, but I feel like a lot of people chased that figure like right away.
I'm not a Star Wars person, so the only ever exclusive I wanted was the Scarlet Spider because I collect the comics with Ben Reilly, and I grew up like reading those comics with the Scarlet Spider. So, of course, I have no attachment to a lot of the properties that come out. There's been some Star Wars ones that I'm like, oh, those are really nice. I love the look of them, and I've told you that in the past. But I have no attachment, even if people are like putting it in my face. Oh, this is great. You don't want to miss out. I'm like, I kind of do want to miss out. It's not my thing.
Right. Yeah. If it's not your thing, right? And I feel like with Arena Fet, it was more of like a, I kind of made a joke about it a couple times on my show, was that it just almost felt like a little mini stimulus package for a lot of people, right? Because they were able to pick it up real, on Sideshow for $220 or whatever, and they saw that it was selling for $600, $700, $800, and then of course it's tapered down a bit now, but it was just like almost. I don't want to say almost, but a lot of people, I felt like they were just picking it up just to flip it. And that's okay, but again, it's if you don't have an attachment to a figure, right, then there is no, at least there shouldn't feel like there's a FOMO, right? Because you don't connect
when
to
it comes to me about being in the community, I just like seeing what's out there. I like seeing people hyped up about something they really want, or they really like, or they love the detail, because I love looking into the detail of stuff. But it doesn't mean I want to go out and buy it, because I'm very particular. It's why I only have a few pre-orders, and it's why I've kind of been bummed out with like them coming very, very late or getting delayed, because I'm like, oh, that's the only one I really want right now.
Right.
And
if it's like the one figure you want and that one is getting delayed. Is that what you were saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I feel that, right? Like for example, the Batman and Robin from Batman Forever. Like, I don't really collect DC, but I really wanted those figures. And those were something I was really looking forward to, and then they, of course, inevitably got delayed. And it's like, wow, the ones DC stuff that I actually really want to get, you know what I mean? You're like, oh man, it's delayed. What the hell? The one figure I wanted to get.
I mean, I grew up on those movies, so like, if I wanted them in my collection, I would totally get those, because I love those corny Batman movies. I will watch them over and over again, and I think I've watched Batman Forever the most out of all of them.
Yeah, I know. Those were good times, man. I remember watching those as well. That's why I was so excited for them. I was like, you know what? And then, of course, yeah, delayed. So, I mean, I guess it depends. Again, like what you're saying, like if you don't really get a lot of figures, then it's more like kind of almost living vicariously through others, right? Then I guess like watching, other content creators and Facebook groups, stuff like that, right?
Right. And oddly enough, with you, you're like one of the few people and one of the few groups with your group that I even interact with. Like I haven't felt the desire or need to, considering interactions I've had with other groups. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you didn't feel, I mean, I can't speak for other groups personally. I don't. I mean, I'm in a few, but I don't always interact. But if you felt like it wasn't really that kind of place to interact in, I totally understand that. And that's kind of what I like with the group here. Is that I'm pretty chill. I think for the most part, I let everybody speak their mind. Show off their stuff, things like that, engage with one another, because I think that's really what it should be about. Is it's more about the hobby, right? The joy of collecting, or the wonder of collecting, and so no, I appreciate that. That's really cool.
Okay, now I feel a little bit awkward.
No, absolutely not. That's really cool. I mean, and that's what a lot of people do in the group. It's a really cool community. I mean, we're still small in the group, but everybody's been so cool. We've had like zero problems.
Everyone seems welcoming. Everyone, they have their opinion, but they do seem to accept other people's opinion, and I do like that because, like, I think one thing that almost turned me away from collecting 1/6 scale was I mentioned wanting to get an older figure like a couple years ago. And someone told me you shouldn't do that because they degrade over time and you're not going to want that figure. And, like, why would you say this? What's the purpose of...
Well, I mean,
it's going to be another way. I know it's going to degrade. Everything degrades. Like, that's something that's going to happen. We all know it. We've all seen it happen with our collections at times.
Right.
But he was, like, very adamant, don't do this. And, like, eventually a year later, I said, you know what, I'm going to get the figure. And I still have that figure. And guess what?
No problem.
He's still in amazing condition. No problem.
Right.
He's still in amazing condition.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just, yeah, I get that. If people are coming off like all aggressive about it, I totally get that. That's just going to turn you off from wanting to be in a community. You know, if you're like, here I am, I'm like sharing, I'm sharing my thoughts, or I have a question, and then people are, come off kind of negative towards you. I think it deters people, right, from wanting to, still participate in things like that, or even to the point where, like you said, you might even just be done with the hobby in general, right? And I don't think that's good for anybody.
No, I mean, it isn't really a competition. Like, I'm not coming out here to take every other figure that you're going to want, so...
Right. Well, it's just whatever
why
you
push
fancy.
Why push somebody out in that aspect?
Right. No, I totally get that. I totally, that's how it should be, in my opinion, right? You collect what you like, always, and at the end of the day, it's because it comes down to you. Like, if you were like, hey, you know what, I really want to get this figure. For example, like the first Deadpool movie figure, I may say that though. I may tell you, be like, hey, well, that suit's pretty bad. It's going to fall apart. But that's because it was just a design flaw or whatever, right? There was something wrong with that Deadpool, where even if you don't move him, the suit's decaying underneath, and you don't even see it. And then when you finally do try to pose it,
stuff like that. You look up stuff like that before you buy, and that's what I had done when that had happened. So I was like, this is because he does have
smart.
one
That's
flaw with
smart
his
buying.
cape, so that's his cape. Everything else is fine. His cape, it just has like an issue on it, and that's something I could easily fix.
Right. That's true too. That is true too.
But I understand, like, having a full suit and then you move and it rips, and you're kind of like, you either buy a whole new thing or you upgrade.
Right. Absolutely. No, it is. So, and that's, so again, if that's something that you want to get, that's your decision. It sounds like you made an educated purchase, right? You looked into the figure before buying it, and at that point, that's what you do. I mean, no one can really tell you otherwise, other than that. So I get like feeling maybe a little, bothered by that if people are coming off in that sense. It's always best to just try to learn as much as you can about the hobby or the figure in particular, or all those things. And I think that's where a lot of us are at, and what we try to do, or at least certainly what I try to do. Try to inform people the best that I can through my experiences. So I do appreciate it.
And you're amazing at it.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate. It's
I've already
been a
told
day.
you I love your videos. I love your detail. I love the way you edit stuff. You're amazing.
I do appreciate it. That is awesome. It's good to hear. I'm glad you guys are all out there, like, enjoying the content, enjoying the community. It's amazing. It's really cool. It's very cool. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably go ahead and wrap on that one then, if you don't mind. I know I got a couple more people here to go,
That's
but
fine.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for calling and supporting. And yeah, I'll be doing this. I'll be doing this again. So hopefully you'll call again in next week, and we'll talk shop on it. And and again, if you get a chance to watch the Saturday streams, because hopefully that's where we'll go. With whatever the topics were Saturday, we'll try to follow them up on those Sundays. So I think that'd be really awesome.
I will try to make it as best as I can.
Hey, if you can. If not, you can always watch the replay. Always watch the replay. It's there. So, no, I appreciate it.
That too. So. I'm very forgetful, but let's end this now. It's nice talking to you.
No, you as well. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Cool. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Awesome, ladies and gentlemen. That was TomboyAJ. What is up? That was so cool. Appreciate it. Guys, we do have a little bit of a time left. Very cool, man. Anybody else want to call in? Numbers right here. We'll probably roll for another. I'll probably take another like 2 calls, and then we'll probably wrap it up. Again, exclusives, FOMO, all that kind of good stuff that we talked about last night. Or hey, about our guests, man. I mean, we had Manaha Collectibles. That was awesome. We had Lale, 1/6 scale, man. Aries, 6 scale Cantina. Amazing stuff. Of course, Mario, brother cousins. Great panel last night. Great discussions. So if you want, give us a call. Like I said, I have probably do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll probably wrap on that. But I'm kind of in agreement with that. I think pre-orders may be coming back in that respect, right? With whatever Sideshow is doing, and especially with these reissues. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm like, okay, well, is there really a point in trying to chase down old stuff? I don't know. Why don't you guys call in and let me know? If I don't get a call in the next couple minutes, then we'll probably wrap. But anybody out there who I still haven't heard from, you have the opportunity now. And if you guys are watching this on the replay, because I will be putting this up publicly, so if you're watching that now, if you are a channel member, that's where you take this opportunity. Come join channel member. And you can call in. We do our members only on this first. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, S-Beam, Absolute Irwin, also in the house. What is going on, gentlemen, this evening? Appreciate everybody calling in so far. Who did we talk to tonight? We talked to CT603, Blackbird Tech. We talked to Blerd Dad Life. We talked to Shawn Smith. We talked to TomboyAJ. Got another call? If not, guys, let me know. You guys are the only ones in here. This is members only right now. So if we're all good, then I may wrap. We'll give it another minute or two. We'll give it another minute or two. Absolute Irwin, S-Beam, calling you guys out. Anybody out there? Otherwise, here we go. There we go. Hey, what's going on? Who am I talking to tonight?
Hey, it's S-Beam.
Hey,
what's up, man?
What is up, dude? How you doing, brother?
Oh, not too bad.
Good stuff, man.
Did you catch Will Fox Vacation show earlier?
Oh, I'm sorry. What about Will earlier?
Did you catch a show earlier with John from Inart?
No, I didn't. I did not. Was
No.
there any new information?
No, nothing really new. I know a lot of people in the chat were complaining that he was saying some stuff about basically that we're screwed if we order it in Inart and then we get a faulty product. So I don't know.
Oh, well, hopefully that was like paraphrased and not. Go ahead.
Yeah, it pretty much was, and I guess it was mostly a misunderstanding what he was saying because he's been saying this whole time. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to contact who you buy it from in order to get your repair done, because you can't call Inart because they don't have your product number.
That's true.
Of course, everybody's up in arms about that. So that's about the most.
Well, and when I had John on last time, he basically said that as well to me when I had him host. If you
almost
remember,
every time he said it.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, we didn't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's unfortunate. That's what it is right now. They don't have official U.S. distribution.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think just people need to calm down. We just need to wait. We just need to be patient and see how this Joker goes.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people are jumping the gun, in my opinion. They're like, hey, oh, this or that, or, I don't know if it's going to be great, or this is going to suck, or this is the Hot Toys killer. It's like, nobody knows anything yet. Right?
Exactly.
So I'm totally in agreement with you. Let's wait and see what happens with the Joker. And I know ultimately they want to get U.S. distribution. When I had John on my show, he said that there was they have 2 global licenses that they're going to be revealing soon, and those global licenses mean that they will have they will seek out U.S. distribution for those global licenses. Now, I know some of those are not, right? They're Asia only. So, what those 2 should, so we should be interested to see, like what happens then, right? Where does that lead us?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, man. No, so although I didn't
Most
get a
likely
chance.
we'll get.
Go ahead.
If they do, we'll most likely have to go through Sideshow, and then we'll get that 30% tagged on.
Well, maybe I don't know though. That's a thing, right? I mean, it's Hot Toys might not be cool with Sideshow distributing 6 scale figures.
Right. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if it's different, because they still do other companies 6 scale figures, but it's not anything that Hot Toys is doing. So
right. So this is going to be kind of
we'll see.
Right, because if InArt's doing a 2022 Batman, and then Hot Toys' Batman is also up in stock or for order,
right?
And I feel like they have a symbiotic relationship, right? If we scratch each other's backs, right? So whatever's happening now with like these the new changes of Sideshow, then Hot Toys might be like, hey, look, we acquiesced it for you, right? This is what we're going to do for you. Now, you know what you need to do for us? Well, an embargo on InArt products. You know what I mean? Like, we're not. So that could be we don't know. We don't know yet. Yeah. Like you said. It's interesting.
Strange times for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree. So, and I know you were.
So,
you caught a bit of the stream last night as well, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think on that, man? I mean, do you feel like, in terms of exclusives, are they really exclusive anymore, or like what are your thoughts on that, man? Because when we saw the Stormtrooper, the clone Stormtrooper, and the Mark 46, I mean, what was your initial thoughts on seeing those up for Sideshow?
I thought it was interesting, like the Iron Man and the Stormtrooper. It's nice because I could use another Mark 46 just so I could have one for my Civil War display and then my Iron Man display. So I'm pretty happy about that. But the Stormtrooper, I'm not really into those niche Stormtroopers. I mean, I did pick up the Black Chrome Death Trooper, but that's a Death Trooper.
Right.
And he's pretty cool.
No, that is cool. I just mean, as far as, did it make you wonder, like, why are we getting exclusives, or is it of something of a kind of a fleeting thought?
I kind of figured we'd see them, to be honest with you. I figured once they couldn't sell what they couldn't sell over there, I figured Sideshow would have them pretty much right away.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured they'd come over here.
Well, I
wasn't too surprised about it.
Really? See, I was a little shocked myself. I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it come. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe. I was really hoping for the cap, but because I don't have that cap.
I still think we're going to see them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, because it's that cap, the stealth suit's a 2.0. And I feel like that in and of itself is an important figure, because it's not just like a chrome Stormtrooper, right? It's a figure that actually needed to be a 2.0. And to lock that behind an exclusive, not really a good idea. And the fact that it's Captain America, and then you're like, hey, it's not sold in America. It's kind of, it's just weird. I feel it's coming, right? We got the Stormtrooper, boom. We got the 46, another. So it's like, wait, there's only one left. I mean, he's got to be coming. He's got to be coming. So I don't know. That's how I'm thinking, man. But yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting though, right? What they're changing.
Sold out pretty quickly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that sold out quick. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they're going to be doing low batches because all those Shanghai exclusives, right, were really low numbers there. So does that mean that these are going to be really low numbers here? Like, is the Stormtrooper going to be sold out shortly? Same with the Mark 46. I mean, I don't know.
Could be. It very well could be. I didn't imagine that they would have too many, unless they didn't sell over there. Like that's the only thing I could think of is that they couldn't sell what they wanted to over there, so they said, "Hey, Sideshow, you take these. I know you guys can get rid of them." So.
Yeah, I mean it could be. Blackbird Tech is also in the chat. He was saying stealth cap drop maybe a New York Comic-Con perhaps. That could be. You know, Sideshow is. I mean, I know they're not doing the con itself, but they are doing this like New York event, right? Similar to this Besttober and the whatever their new October one is. So or Bestember or whatever they're calling these things, right? So that could be a thing too, right? Where we're gonna see it on the new event, locked behind that that invite RSVP category in your account, like these two figures. So yeah, time will tell.
They got Spectacular coming up too.
Yeah, yep, that's coming too. And then they may do something for Thanksgiving. They may do something for Christmas. I feel like,
Yep.
I feel like we're just gonna get a lot of events. We're gonna get a lot of events.
Strategic planning is what they're doing.
Oh yeah, no, they are. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, that's definitely cool, man. That's definitely cool what they're doing. I'm kind of, I'm along for the ride, right? There's a lot of things that are changing right now, and it's interesting. That's why I thought it was so cool to, be able to hear from everybody else, in the community, and like, what do they, is this exciting for people? Is this worry people, right? Is it a fluke? That kind of stuff, right? Because you never know. Like, you never know.
Well, I'm glad I don't have too many pre-orders. I mean, all my stuff right now is pretty much paid off, but I stopped ordering from Sideshow for a little while because how fast, Hong Kong gets their stuff. But if Sideshow is going to get their stuff a little bit sooner, then, that's a game changer too, because I'll start definitely pre-ordering from them if they start doing this. I mean, like this stuff with the Echo and Repaint Boba.
Right.
That's crazy.
No, I agree. And I think what Sideshow is doing now is smart too. Like you say, it's business. It's calculated. Yep. There's strategy here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Strategically.
Yeah. No, 100%, dude. So, yeah, no, it's great. It's awesome, dude. So, and again, I appreciate you, man, calling in. I'll probably wrap. I may take one more call, but then I think we'll probably wrap it up, brother. But if you're liking this, man, I'll keep doing this every week. Sounds like
that'd be cool.
Sounds like everybody's pretty responsive with it. So
I called in sooner, but I was trying to get my kids to bed.
Oh no worries, brother. No worries, man. No worries. It's always good to hear from you, man. And we'll talk soon. We'll definitely talk soon, man. So I hope you have a good rest of your night, man.
As you.
All right, brother.
Take care.
All right, you too. All right, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, that was S Beam, another member of the community. So we'll do one more. All right, we're about an hour and a half in. I think we can do one more. If you guys want to do one more, that's fine. If not, we'll wrap. So we'll just shoot it, for a couple minutes here. See if we get a call coming in. If not, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Again, if you guys are watching this publicly, this is, this is what we do. Saturday night's the main live stream. Sundays, we'll be doing these members only call-ins where we can talk about the night before, the events that we discussed. And then we'll go ahead and make that public. So you guys, if you're watching this now, that's what we're doing. So if you guys want to be come join, be a member, you can call in, on our Sunday nights and participate. Really cool, man. It's a good turnout tonight. This is great. Other than that, guys, I think we're pretty good. It's an odd time right now too, right? A lot of the members here, at this hour is either late for them in the East Coast or who knows elsewhere in the world. So I totally get it. But I think the timing we may change. I may change the timing a little bit, guys. But otherwise, I think we're good on that. So anyway, I guess we'll just go ahead and wrap. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming in tonight for this first episode of Call In the Shots. I think it's pretty awesome. If you guys are enjoying this, again, we will keep doing this every week. And I think that'll be very cool. And thank you for everybody calling in. That's awesome. It's cool to hear from everybody. It's a great thing, man, to be able to talk to everybody in the community. And you guys get to voice your opinions, share your thoughts. That's what this is all about. So until next time, I guess, we'll have our show again Saturday night. I think that'll be really, I'm not sure I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. And then whatever we do during the week, not sure. I may be on some shows tomorrow or sometime during the week. But other than that, I don't know if I'm going to be doing much live myself on the channel. until Saturday night. And when we talk Saturday night, again, Sunday, we'll do this again. Members only, call in and we'll discuss our topics. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a good evening. Those who are watching the replay, you as well. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, road to 4K, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.